Hi there. Today we're looking in your algebra books at section 4.4, which is parallel and perpendicular lines. The concept here is if I have two lines that have the same slope, then if I drew them on a coordinate grid, they're going to be parallel. So let's take a look at a couple of lines here. Y equals negative 4x plus 3, and y equals negative 4x minus 7. So clearly these two lines have different y-intercepts, but in fact they are parallel because they have the same slope. And remember, if a equation for a line is not in that form, you need to change it to see the slope. So if I have 3x plus 8y equals, let's say, it doesn't really matter what's over here, 24, and I want to find the slope, I have to change its form. So I subtract 3x from both sides, and I get 8y equals negative 3x plus 24, and I divide by 8, and here is the slope. I don't even care what this is, as long as it's only slope that I am interested in. So the slope of this line would be negative 3/8. If I want to write another equation with the same slope, let's say y equals negative 3/8 x plus 2. All right. So those two lines then have the same slope. If two lines are perpendicular, they have opposite reciprocal slopes. That means the slopes have opposite signs and they are the upside down version of each other. So y equals 2x minus 5 and y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Those two lines are perpendicular because one has a slope of 2, which is 2 over 1, and the other one has a slope that flips this over and changes its sign to negative 1/2. All right, let's look at another possibility here. Let's say we had y equals, let's see, negative 5/3 x plus 1. All right, the perpendicular to that, with this perpendicular slope, would be to turn it over, 3 over 5, and change the sign, in this case from negative to positive. And then it doesn't matter what's over here, because all we're really interested in is the slope itself. These two are perpendicular because they have opposite reciprocal slopes. Sometimes you will need to compare slopes and see if they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. To do that, you need to put them into slope-intercept form and then look at their slopes. So let's say we had one of them that was 2x plus 3y equals 12, plus 3y equals 12. To find its slope, we subtract 2x, we get 3y equals negative 2x plus 12, and then I divide by 3. And the slope then of this line is negative 2/3. Now let's say we had a different line, which was, let's see what it might be. Let's put it in a different form here. Y minus 6 equals 3/2 x plus 4. All right, so I'm just going to write this slope up here, negative 2/3. Now, I'm comparing that to another line. And that other line is y minus 6 equals 3/2 x plus 4. 3/2 x plus 4. Now, we don't need to really go any farther because the slope here is 3/2. This one's in point slope form. This one was in slope-intercept form. The slope was negative 2/3. Those two are in fact perpendicular. Just remember, to compare slopes, you have to put the lines' equations into slope-intercept form. All right? Something else you have to do sometimes with these is, for example, write an equation in slope-intercept form for a line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular to the given line. So here's what I have. 2x plus 3y equals 4. 2x plus 3y equals 4. I want to go perpendicular to that line, and I want my line to go through the point 2, 3. All right. So the first thing I have to do is find the perpendicular to this. To do that, I have to put it in slope-intercept form. So I subtract 2x, I get 3y equals negative 2x plus 4. And I'm going to divide by 3. And I get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4/3. I don't even care about the 4/3. I'm interested in the slope, which is negative 2/3. Now, if I want my line to be perpendicular, I have to have the opposite reciprocal slope, which is positive 3/2. So I now want to have a line y equals 3/2 x plus b, and I want it to go through this point. So 3 equals 3/2 times 2 plus b. Those cancel. This becomes 3 plus b equals 3 minus 3, and I get b equals 0. Therefore, my equation is going to be y equals 3/2 x plus 0, or just y equals 3/2 x. That's the equation for a line that is perpendicular to the given line and goes through the point 2, 3. To do one that's parallel, it's actually a little bit easier because we just take the slope we're given. So for example, y equals 3x minus 5. Let's write that up here. Y equals 3x minus 5. And I want a line that is parallel to that one and goes through the point 4, negative 3. All right, so all I have to do is take that slope, put on a new y-intercept, which I have to find, and plug this in. So I get negative 3 equals 3 times 4 plus b. That's 12 plus b equals negative 3. I add 12 to both sides, and I get b is 15. So my new equation then becomes y equals 3x plus 15. That line is parallel to this one and goes through this point. All right, so you know how to do three things. You know how to find the slope by putting it into slope-intercept form. You know how to compare lines to see whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Put them in slope-intercept form. If they are parallel, they're going to have the same slope. If they're perpendicular, they're going to have opposite reciprocal slopes. And if they're neither, then there won't be any apparent relationship between the slopes. And then you also know how to take a line with a given slope and find another line, parallel or perpendicular to it, that goes through a specified point. Hopefully, you can do all three of those things now. Thank you very much.